Let's talk about the Battle of the Hudson and all things hashtag no quitting NY with my guy Jonny Lazarus of the Daily Faceoff. My man, you got fresh for us.
Yeah.
You came in the studio with your nice sweater.
New jacket.
New jacket.
Flaunting it a little bit.
All right, before we get into breaking down tonight's game between Rangers-Devils, let's talk about, update us with the injuries. Artemi Panarin, Jimmy Vesey missed practice on Wednesday, and they're considered day-to-day with lower body injuries. The Rangers have already lost Blake Wheeler and Philip Hedl. There's a lot of question marks surrounding this team's top two lines. If Breadman and Vesey can't go tonight, who's got to step up in their place?
Well, there's a lot of options you can pick from right now, but here's the thing with the Rangers. Their third line's been playing so well of Kaapo Kakko, Johnny Brodzinski, and Will Cooley, so I don't think Pierre Laviolette's going to want to separate those three. But again, you look at the second line, too. If you take Panarin away from Alexis Lafreniere and Vinny Trocheck, who can fit that spot? And they called up Brendan Othmann today, who's been, a very big, very important prospect in the minors, but he hasn't shown a ton in the NHL, so I think they're going to look for him to fill that hole. But right now, every guy they've called up from the AHL and the Hartford Wolfpack has stepped up and done a really good job coming in and filling these holes. So I'm not concerned on who specifically really needs to step up, but you look at guys like Kaapo Kakko, Alexis Lafreniere, who are the key guys who need to keep this motor going for this team to go deep. So you look at those two guys. But again, it's been such a plug-and-play type of season for the Rangers under Peter Laviolette.
Well, I got to ask you that, how hard is it for a guy to come up from the AHL and then get plugged in? Like, what's that adjustment like?
I mean, I've never done it personally, but from everyone I've talked to, it's all about a coach showing confidence in you.
Okay.
For example, Johnny Brodzinski was called up earlier in the year, and he's now signed a 2-year extension. He's done an awesome job with the Rangers this season, but he's been put in the spots to be successful. He's not just plugged on the fourth line, going out there for 8 to 9 minutes and just basically doing cardio. He's actually being put in a spot in the lineup where he played in the AHL, where he's comfortable playing, and that's something that Peter Laviolette has done so well. So I think that's what he'll do with the call-ups that he has today or tonight.
That question was more for me than the fans, because, I mean, that's pretty impressive. You think in the NFL, we got practice squad guys, but you don't have a guy playing in another league come in and play on Sunday. So this is, thank you.
Yeah.
That was me personally.
Second hand.
So when we talk about the goalie play going into this game, Devils goalies Vitek Vanacek and Nico Daws have pretty much struggled throughout the course of this season. But Igor Shesterkin, he's been a little inconsistent at times. At this time, we're recording this right now. We don't know who's going to be in goal for the Rangers. So who has the goalie advantage going into this one?
Well, even though we don't know who's starting between Igor Shesterkin and Jonathan Quick, I still give the Rangers the advantage.
Okay.
Both goalies have been great. Igor's 4-0-0 since the All-Star break. He's got a shutout in the mix between. He's coming off a 41-save performance at home against Dallas, a really strong team. So he's feeling the mojo right now. He's even tried to score in the empty net in the last 2 games. So that's when you know Igor's feeling confident again. But with the Devils, they haven't been getting saves all year. Nico Daws has stepped up in the last 5 games for them, but he's coming off of a really weak performance where he allowed 6 goals on 26 shots against, so probably not feeling all that confident. So the Rangers certainly have the edge in goal tonight, but you never really know with how this season is shaken up so far.
And what's crazy to me is how the Devils announced that Akira Schmidt, the savior of the playoff series last year, is getting shipped to Utica for their AHL team. NHL, man, it's this weird place to be for you guys, man. Oh, yeah. It's weird. Hockey's a weird place. Let's talk about the Rangers riding an 8-game win streak. The Devils won 13 straight last year. You think the Rangers can beat the Devils and extend this win streak?
Well, I think the Rangers can definitely beat the Devils tonight. As far as the 13-game win streak, that might be a little bit tougher to talk about.
Okay.
It's a lot of hockey to be played, but the Rangers in their history, they're an original 6 team. You'd think they've had more than 10 wins in a row, but you look back at 1972-73 and then 1939-40, that's when the Rangers set their franchise record for most wins in a row, which was 10 straight. So it's been north of 50 years since they've done it, and their next 2 games are tonight in New Jersey and then on the road in Philly on Saturday. So 2 tough divisional opponents to play against, but with the way this team's going right now, they're going into every game thinking they could win, knowing they're the better team, and you got to ride that confidence, you got to ride that hot hand. So I think they can certainly get to 10. 13 might be a little bit tougher because their schedule in the month of March is going to be a little bit tougher.
Do you have any Battle of the Hudson memories from back when little Johnny was a kid?
I mean, there's a lot that stand out, but there was nothing better than going to Madison Square Garden and chanting Marty Brodeur's name and taunting him for 60 minutes. That was probably the best memories. But I was actually at the game where Sean Avery did the screen in front of Brodeur. I don't know if you remember that one, but basically created a rule after him because no one else has done that. So that's probably my favorite memory of the Battle of the Hudson.
And you're from Long Island, right?
Yeah.
So how did you become a Rangers fan?
My dad actually was in high school all 4 years the Islanders won the Cup, but he wasn't a big hockey guy. My cousin Jason Bisnoff, shout out to him, was a huge Rangers fan, and he basically bullied me into it. So I thank him every day for that, because otherwise I would have been an Islander fan, which I was till I was like 5 years old. But luckily Jason taught me everything I know about the Rangers, so shout out to him.
All right, just making sure. Let's talk about Adam Fox, man, because this guy has been playing lights out. He's compiled 7 points across the last 3 games, 35 points in 36 games since he returned from an injury that sidelined for him for nearly a month. I mean, obviously I'm saying he's balling, but your thoughts on Foxy?
Yeah, I mean, Adam struggled a little bit, I think, in the beginning of the previous game. He had a couple of turnovers early on, but then, found that goal, found that confidence to get the game going, get himself going. But it's also the first time in his career where he's really dealt with a long-term injury. Even, going back to when he was like 10 years old, he's never really had to go through this before. So it's been a bit of a mental challenge for him as far as a physical challenge as well. But now that it's been a few months since it's happened, he's starting to find his comfort level again, starting to find that confidence level again. And it's all about feeling comfortable in your own body, right?
Okay.
Because when you're used to being able to make plays that your body might not allow you to make after an injury, it's tough to transition and kind of find that comfort level. But I think as we've gone on here, he's gotten back to it a little bit, and it's shown on the score sheet for sure.
This team has a lot of stars. It looks like Peter Laviolette is the coach. It looks like they have the pieces to make a Stanley Cup run this year. Is it Stanley Cup or bust for this year's Rangers team?
I think it always is New York, right? This city's starving for a championship, no matter which team it is. But the Rangers brought in Peter Laviolette for that exact purpose. It's Cup or bust with Peter Laviolette, and in his first year, he's done nothing but impress. And this group right now, they know the window is probably like that next 2 to 4 years, maybe max. But the Rangers, again, it's a team that's starving for a championship. It's a city that's starving for a championship. It's been one Stanley Cup in 84 years, so I think at this point it's always Cup or bust.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
That's a long time. All right, just breaking down some news from around the league. Some history was made last night in Arizona when hometown boy Auston Matthews scored his 50th and 51st goals of the season. That makes him the fastest U.S.-born player to reach 50 goals. He did in just 54 games. I don't know what that means. I just know it's a great feat. So put this feat in perspective for people like me and our fans out there. Where do you think Matthews is going to stack up when we talk about the best American hockey players of all time?
I mean, I guess to put it in terms relative to you, it might be like Christian McCaffrey's touchdown streak of every game, right? That seems sort of familiar.
I know that one.
Right? That's
kind
of, I feel like that kind of plays. But what he's doing is incredible. And he's probably the only player in the NHL right now that's favored to score every night. He was like minus 135 to score a goal last night, which is insane. But what Auston Matthews is doing, I think there's no doubt in my mind right now today that he's already the best American goal scorer of all time. As far as overall player, though, there's still some room for improvement. I mean, he can work on his overall 200-foot game, but with the way this guy scores goals, I mean, he's even in the MVP talk right now, too, because if he hits 70, it's going to be pretty tough to deny him of that. But as far as I'm concerned, when it's all said and done, I do think Auston Matthews is going to be at least 1 or 2 best American players of all time.
That's American, but where is his legacy going to stack up when it comes to all-time hockey greats?
I mean, that's a loaded question. He's got to win some hardware first. He's only been in the second round once, so I know it's not necessarily all about rings, but a little bit about rings. It is. At the end of the day, it's a little bit about rings. But Auston Matthews certainly has the ability, has the talent, and has the potential to go down as one of the best players. He's probably going to be the best goal scorer of all time. He'll pass Ovechkin, I think.
That's going to be an awesome feat for him to reach. Tell the people where they can find you, Jay Lazzy.
You can always find me on Twitter, JLazzy23. You can also catch my morning show, Morning Cup of Hockey, every Monday through Thursday at 9 a.m. on the Daily Faceoff YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun. We went at it today about Alexis Lafreniere, so it was a pretty heated debate between me and my co-host, Colby Cohen, and we have a lot of fun every Monday and Thursday, so watch there.
All right, there you go. Thanks, Top.
Thank you.
For joining us, man.
Appreciate it.